Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me, Father? Know you're way up there. So many on earth in pain. They can use your care. In addition, more love. 'Cause that's our biggest fail. They all talk about heaven, but we need you right here. You can feel it shift around. The world moving different now. Time is going faster. Only one way to live a righteous life. We can't serve two masters. That's why I'm asking you. Oh, we got. Oh, please. Help us, Father, won't you save us? Oh, you're my spiritual charger. Nothing else compares. Living in our purpose is humbling. Not so much is fair. Ooh, but I still feel your love. Your love is always there a long way. We still persevere. You the one, ain't no two. I'ma always get the praises due to you, my God, forever. That's why I'm begging you, please stop. You always all we got. Oh, please, we need you. We need you. Oh, my Father. I think we need some prayer. Expression. Prayers are my expression. Please accept my expression. Hope that it reaches your heaven. Where blessings come from. I think we need some prayer. Expression. Prayers are my expression. Please accept my expression. Hope that it reaches your heaven. Where blessings come from. Ooh, don't ever leave. We need you to come to our rescue. Don't ever stop. Praise the mighty YAH.
Praise the mighty YAH, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the mighty YAH, shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to another beautiful broadcast of Gather YAH'S Saints live from the House of YisraEL of the World Ingathering of the Children of YisraEL. And I am Moreh IshYAH Yisrael, here to bring you the word of YAH today, here to magnify Yahweh with you and exalt his name together. For that is the mission. That's the duty. And we can't magnify YAH, we can't magnify his laws if we do not magnify the law and make it honorable. And we're going to magnify the law of YAH today and make it honorable Praises be to the mighty Yah. Get my stuff here. All right. So praise be to the mighty Yah again. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to gather YAH'S Saints. This evening, late part of the day, wherever you may be at the moment, we're going to deal with how to be holy. How to be holy. And the reason we're dealing with how to be holy is because as I peer out into the world of our people and the things and the ideas that are being put out there and said about being a Hebrew and living the life of a Hebrew and the things that we do and the things that we can do and the things that we can't do, I'm seeing a lot of people miss the message of how Yahweh wants us to be. And what does Yahweh want us to be? Yahweh wants us to be this. And I want to remind you what Yahweh wants us to be, because it's part of our covenant, what Yahweh agreed with us. Last week we discussed Yahweh's covenants, how the faith of the children of YisraEL. And what was the faith of the children of YisraEL? Well, the faith of the children of YisraEL is the mighty Yah and his word, his covenants. Our faith is established by the covenants of the Most High. We went over the covenant of the law last week because this month, this third month, it is the month in which Yah gave us the covenants of Yah, his laws, his 10 commandments. Even in this third month, Yahweh gave us the 10 commandments and the law. And many people following the Jewish calendar and the Jewish man, many people will start to celebrate what is called Shavuot, Chag Shavuot, or the Feast of Weeks, because the Jewish man has reported that this is when Shavuot should be celebrated, because this is when the Creator gave us the 10 commandments. And one thing they're right about, the third month is when the Creator gave us the 10 commandments, but this week is not when the Creator gave you the 10 commandments. According to the Jewish man, Shavuot is to be celebrated according to the day and time that Yah gave us the 10 commandments. And this is not the actual day and time. That particular event happened in the third month on the second day of the month. And the Jewish calendar is not according to the word of Yah. It's according to the understanding of the Judaic religion. But what we're teaching you today, we're teaching you how to be holy according to the word of Yah. We are the children of YisraEL. And we're going by the word of Yah, not by the word of the Jewish man. So Shavuot is not because of when Yahweh gave us the 10 commandments. Shavuot is actually connected to something else that we will show you in the time to come, what Shavuot is actually connected to. Nevertheless, it is still important to acknowledge and regard the 10 commandments and the covenant that Yahweh made with us, that the 10 commandments establishes the covenant of the law, one of Yahweh's 7 everlasting covenants. And I would also like you to understand that if you are not or have never heard of the 7 everlasting covenants by the Almighty Yah, if your mores, if your rabbis, if your ministers, if your pastors or preachers, if your Kohanes or Nasim if your SARS have not shown you the 7 everlasting covenants, it's because they are not aware of the secret of the Almighty. They're not aware of it. And if you're not aware of Yahweh's secrets, what does that mean? What does that mean if your leadership is not aware of the 7 everlasting covenants, of the secrets of the Most High? I'm going to show you what that means. But first, let me show you what the Creator wanted you to be. And it's in the book of Exodus, the 19th chapter. In the book of Exodus, the 19th chapter, Yah said in verse 4, "Ye have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Yisrael." So Yah has ordained you to be above all people, for all the earth is Yahweh's, a peculiar treasure above all people. So one, Yah is saying you should be a peculiar treasure above all people. Two, he's saying you should be a kingdom of priests. And three, he's saying a holy nation. And why is that the third thing that he mentioned? Because holiness is represented and indicated with the sign that comes with the third. We're in the 4th day of the week, but it's the 17th of the 3rd month. So what does that mean? That means we're dealing with the sanctified, holy servant of Yah. The 17th is how Yahweh will sanctify his holy servant. And we're going to show you how to be holy today. We're going to show you how you can be a sanctified, holy servant of the mighty Yahweh. Because that's what he wants you to be. So what does it mean when your leadership does not know the secret of Yah? If you go to the book of Psalms 25, and I'm going to read the 14th verse, it says, "The secret of Yah is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant." That's right. See, it's not some minuscule happenstance, run-of-the-mill situation. If your leadership, the people you call your teachers, are not showing you the covenant of the mighty Yah, if they're not showing you the covenant of the mighty Yah, that's because it hasn't been shown to them. And why hasn't it been shown to them? It hasn't been shown to them because they don't know the secret of Yah. And if they don't know the secret of Yah, it's because they do not fear him enough. That's right. So we need to do a inventory of what we're listening to. But what we're going to show you on Gather YAH'S Saints, we're going to show you secrets, as my teachers have shown me, as the mighty Yah has shown me. And this is what we're going to show you, so you can understand the faith of the children of Israel, so you can understand how to be holy. Now, of course, there are many things in the law that are attributed to holiness, but I'm going to deal with something that you might not consider that would be the thing that makes you holy. Yes, I'm going to show you how the Most High feels about your holiness. Now look in the book of Deuteronomy. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter, the Creator says this in verse 1 and 2. He says, you are the children of YAH your Elohim. You shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. So you're not supposed to do these things, even though many people around the world do these things. They cut themselves, they brand themselves, they cut themselves, they make marks on themselves, and they make baldness between their eyes for the dead. Yah said in verse 2, for you are a holy people unto Yahweh, your Elohim, and Yah hath chosen you to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. So this is what Yah has ordained you to be, holy and peculiar. Therefore, our holiness must be exemplified in our walk as a Hebrew. Now, how are Hebrews holy? What can you do today to exemplify your holiness? What can you do to show Yah you're holy? You have multiple things. And of course, Yah's dietary law. Many people will think, well, I got to eat clean. And you do. We're not to eat pork. We're not to eat shrimp and lobster and crabs. We're not to eat mussels and clams and clam chowder. We're not to eat scallops and calamari. We're not to eat blood and oysters and what's the, you know, the caviar and all these sushi and all these things that people are eating from the bottom of the sea and the parts of the fish that you shouldn't be eating. We're not to eat those things. We're not to eat hawks and buzzards. We're not to eat those things. We're not to eat rats, cats, and dogs. We're not supposed to eat those things because Yah said he is holy and we shall be holy. But there's two things that we must do to maintain holiness. Two things that if you're not doing, especially in exile, because a lot of people don't even believe you can be holy in exile. Are you able to be holy in exile? A lot of people don't think you can be holy in exile. But if you look in the book of Daniel, great example, in Daniel, the first chapter, verse 8, it says, but Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. So Daniel, he stayed away from things that would make him unholy. Daniel prayed 3 times a day. Daniel upheld the law of Yah in exile. So can you uphold the law of Yahweh in exile? He said we're a peculiar people. If you look in the book of Esther, for instance, in the book of Esther, in the 3rd chapter, it says, we'll start reading in verse 4, Esther 3, verse 4. Now it came to pass that when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was Yehudi. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Yehudanim that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is the month of Nisan, that's the Babylon name, Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast Pur, that is the lot, before Haman from day to day, and from month to month to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore it's not for the king's profit to suffer them. You see how we were described to the people? We were described as being a people that are different from all the other people, that we do not keep the same laws as everybody else. Can we say that today? I know a lot of people say that you cannot keep the law of the Almighty outside of the land. Well, then why is the scriptures clearly showing us where people of Yah's house made sure they kept the laws outside of our land, to be called diverse, to be different, to be undefiled? The reason is we can keep the law outside of the land. And there's two things I'm going to show you that will exemplify how you can be holy, especially in exile, how you can be holy. And let me show you the first thing of how you can be holy in exile. And you go to the book of Shemot, which in English would be Exodus. And you go to the 31st chapter, Exodus 31. And we're going to begin reading at verse 12. Exodus 31 and 12 reads, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak thou also unto the children of YisraEL, saying, verily my Sabbaths shall ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yah, that does sanctify you. You hear what he said? He said, you must keep the Sabbath throughout your generations, that you may know that I am Yah, that does sanctify you. And that's how you become holy, by being sanctified. And the Creator uses the Shabbat day to sanctify you, to set you apart, so you can be maintained in the holiness that Yah has ordained. So you must keep the Sabbaths. And I know what scorners say. You can't keep the Sabbath outside of your land. But in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So you have to keep the holy Shabbat to be holy, even in exile. But in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 1, it reads, "And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of YisraEL, and say unto them, The feast of YAH, which you shall proclaim, holy convocations, even these are my feasts." Verse 3, as I told you, the third represents sanctification. The third represents Yah's holy servant. And in the third verse, it says, 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of YAH, or of rest. In holy convocation, you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of YAH in all your dwellings. In all your dwellings. Then that means where you live. That's what dwellings mean. Dwellings mean where you live, where you abide, where you rest your head. So wherever you live, you're to keep the Shabbat in all your dwellings. And wherever you live, you're to have a holy convocation. Wherever you live. Now, the funny thing is, a holy convocation has two parts. One, it's holy. And what's going to make it holy? Not the priest, not the sacrifices. What's going to make it holy is that you do it when he appointed it. That's what makes it holy, to do it at the appointed time. Because the appointed time is what keeps it separated. If you do it at any time, then it's not holy. But the appointed time makes it holy. That's why he's telling you the appointed time. That's why he said, these are my moedim, my appointments. He wouldn't have told you his appointments if they weren't going to keep something in its proper place and set apart so that it can be holy. So the first part of it being holy is that it must be done at the appointed time. The second part of it being holy, of this convocation or of this Shabbat, is the convocation. It's a gathering. So you have to have a gathering at the appointed time. And you should have it at an appointed place. And the thing is, in order for you to have this gathering, yes, that means you need to have it with other people. And this is what brings me to the book of Jeremiah, the 29th chapter. See, the things that we're not doing is figuring out how to do the law. Yah wants us to keep his holy covenants. And the Shabbat day is a holy covenant. It's the third everlasting covenant. It's appointed place in how the Most High has appointed the third everlasting covenant, meaning it comes up in the space of three, in the time and space that is in the third order, because it's holy, because it's sanctified. And the Most High wants you to understand this. In Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, the 4th verse, it says, "Thus saith Yah of hosts, the Elohim of Yisrael, unto all that are carried away captives." Who he talking to? You. "Whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build ye houses." So why aren't you building a house? Why aren't you doing that? "And dwell in them. meaning build ye houses and live. Build ye houses and dwell in them. Well, didn't he say keep the Shabbat in all your dwellings? Build ye houses and dwell in them. Plant gardens. What are we doing? Are we playing gardens? Or are we talking? Are we building houses? Or are we talking? Build ye houses and dwell in them, and eat of the fruit of them. Take ye wives. It don't say anything but keep in order. Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters. This is how you build a house. By getting married and having children, and take wives for your sons. It doesn't say take husbands for your sons. It doesn't say that. And give your daughters unto wives. It don't say that. It say give your daughters unto husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, and that they may be increased there and not diminished, and seek the peace of the city, whither I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto Yah for it, for in the peace of thereof shall you have peace. Why are we not doing that? This is what we should be doing. And if we did this, if we came together and did this, if we built our houses, if we were getting wives and having children and giving our children to husbands and wives, you build a community. This type of community, you keep a holy convocation. You keep the laws in this community. This is what Mordecai did. This is what Daniel did. This is why they were pointed out as a people that's peculiar, because they separated themselves. They kept themselves separated. And I'm showing you to keep yourself holy, you must keep the holy convocation, the holy Shabbat, because the Shabbat day is a holy covenant with the Most High, that we may know that it is Yah that does sanctify us. You have to keep this holy in all your dwellings. That means everywhere you live. And when you do this, the Almighty will show you his secret. Why? Because by doing the Shabbat, you will show that you fear Yahweh. Because what would we be doing on the Shabbat day? Isaiah, the 58th chapter. This is what you would be doing on the Shabbat day if you keep it holy. Isaiah, the 58th chapter, verse 13 reads, if you turn away your foot from the Shabbat, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, and call the Shabbat a delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. So on the Shabbat day, it's a day that you not only rest from your labors, it's also a day you rest from your vanity. It's a day you rest from your vanity. You don't have to do your vanity on the Shabbat day. You don't have to scroll hours and hours on TikTok. You don't have to worry about if she likes you. You don't have to worry about your car or your clothes or anything. Just call the Shabbat a delight and the holy of Yah. And don't do your own thing, but do what Yahweh has commanded you to do. And what has Yah commanded you to do on the holy Shabbat day? He commanded you to have a holy convocation. And what should you be doing in this holy convocation? Undoubtedly, you should be praying to Yahweh for peace. Undoubtedly, you should be magnifying the law of the Most High. You should be talking the word of Yah. We think we need a priest. We even think we need a Moreh, and you do need a teacher, but why aren't you coming together to watch the holy convocation? If you don't have a Moreh in your city, but you have a Moreh that you watch, why are you just sitting in your pajamas watching it? If you have a companion in your city, why aren't you going to each other's house and turning on the holy convocation and reading the Psalms, and, getting together, read the Psalms, pray together, like the scripture tells us in Jeremiah 29. You could come together, pray together, read some scriptures together, eat together, sing together, and you can watch the teachings together. And then you really would have a holy convocation, because you would have to get up out your pajamas. Then you really would be able to have a holy gathering, even if it's not physically in your city. So you don't even need a building. You can, with today's technology, you can just gather with your companions. And if you really honor Yah, then listen to the word of Yah coming from the people you feel that the word of Yah is coming from. I'm not even telling you to listen to us. But why aren't you gathering? Why are you staying in the corner? Now, if you don't have nobody to do that with, I understand. But a holy convocation is holy because why? Because of its appointed time and because you are doing what Yah said to do. But what makes it holy is its appointed time. That's what makes it holy. And the holy Shabbat day is an appointed time that we must keep Yah's word. That's one thing we could do, should be doing, need to be doing, even in exile, to be holy. And the second thing we need to do in exile to be holy is to give Yahweh what belongs to him. Now, how do you give Yahweh what belongs to him? How do you give Yahweh what he already has? And why would he have such a policy in which you have to give him something? What kind of nonsense is that? I got to give the Most High something? Yes, you got to give Yah something. And look what it says in the book of Malachi. In Malachi, the 3rd chapter, the 7th verse, it says, even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith Yah of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? So Yahweh, he pleading with us. He's saying, return unto me, and I will return unto you. And we said, how do we return to you, Yah? How do we do that? And he said in verse 8, will a man rob Elohim? Yea, ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed you? In tithes, which is a tenth. And why is it a tenth? Because a tenth is representative of 3. Why 3? Because you have 7 numbers. That's it. And then everyone after that is following those 7. So 1, 8, 15, 22, 29, all following after 1. 2, 9, 16, 23, all following after 2. 3, 10, 17, 24, all following after 3. And 10 is in the order of 3. It's holy. And YAH said it's holy. That's why he wants his tithe, because it's holy. But YAH, he likes to show you how faithful you are. And he said, you're robbing me in tithes and in offerings. So not just tithes, which is holy, but offerings, which shows your kindness. And then he said in verse 9, you're cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes, all the tenth into the storehouse. Now, of course, you're not going to have a storehouse if you don't build a community. And you're not going to build a community if you don't want to be who you are. You don't want to be peculiar. You don't want to be a kingdom of priests. You don't want to be a holy nation. So you're not going to have a storehouse. You're not going to have a community. And you're not going to have a holy convocation. And if you're not going to do those things, then don't talk about it. Don't talk about we can't do it or can do it. Just be about your way and don't talk about it. But if you want to talk about the word of YAH, Yahweh requires that you don't just talk about his word, but you perform his word. And so he said, bring all the tenth into the storehouse, that there may be meat. Yeah, what's that word meat mean? Because everybody thinks it's just food. It just got to be food. It can't be nothing else. Meat is your substance. That's what meat is. Something that you have gathered. That's what meat is. Something that you're bringing in. Something that you have taken out. Bring all that which you have taken, so that all the tenth of what you have taken, so there may be substance in my house. There may be meat in my house. And prove me. That's why he gave you this tenth, to see if you're faithful, to see if you're faithful, to see if you believe YAH. Because this is the one thing he's saying, to prove me now herewith, saith Yahweh of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that you shall not have room enough to receive it. Do you want a blessing? Or do you want to just say that you bless while you actually cursed? Do you want to be about what you talk about? Do you want a blessing? If you want a blessing, bring in the tenth. Bring in the tenth if you want a blessing. Because Yahweh is letting you see how faithful you are. Now, the tenth is holy. Now, why is the tenth holy? Let me show you why this tithe is holy. In the book of Exodus, let me get this right, scripture. I think it's in Exodus. No, Numbers, I was wrong. Let's go to the book of Numbers, the 3rd chapter. In the book of Numbers, the 3rd chapter, and we're going to start reading in verse 12. And it says in Numbers, the 3rd chapter, verse 12. I'll start at verse 11. And Yahweh said unto Moses, saying, and I behold, and I have taken the Levites from among the children of YisraEL, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of YisraEL. Therefore the Levites shall be mine, because all the firstborn are mine. For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Yisrael, both man and beast. Mine shall they be, I am Yah. So now the firstborn are redeemed by the tribe of Levi. The firstborn are redeemed by the tribe of Levi, which means if Yah didn't do this, if Yah decided to just take the firstborn, that means every firstborn in Israel would belong to Yah, would have to go serve in the house of the Most High like the Levites are ordained to do. That means no family would be able to enjoy their firstborn. So Yah really was having mercy. I'm not going to take away the joy of your firstborn child. You can have your firstborn child, but I will redeem that firstborn with the tribe of Levi. And if you go to the book of Numbers, the 18th chapter, it says in verse 1, and Yahweh said unto Aaron, you and your sons in your father's house with you shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. So this is something that they got to bear. And let me get to the part that's going to get right into what we're dealing with. Go to verse 23. Listen to this. In verse 23, it says, but the Levites, this is Numbers, the 18th chapter, but the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. But the tithes of the children of Yisrael, which they offer as a heave offering unto Yah, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore I have said unto them, among the children of Israel, they shall have no inheritance. So what does this mean? All the tithes, it goes to the Levites. They're one of the recipients of the tithe. And Yah said in verse 25 unto Moses, saying, speak unto the Levites and say unto them, when you take of the children of Israel the tithes, which I have given you from them for you in inheritance, then you shall offer up a heave offering of it for Yah, even a 10th part of the tithe. Meaning, even the Levites had to give a tithe. And why did the Levites have to give a tithe? Because the 10th belongs to Yah. So not only do the children of Israel have to give a tithe, but the Levites had to give a tithe. And they're the ones that receive tithes. Because all 10th belongs to the Most High. And he is checking your faith with the 10th. Are you going to do the law according to the 10th? What are you supposed to do with the 10th? You're supposed to give the 10th to the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. Those are your afflicted. Those are your poor in your community. That's who the tithe belonged to. Look what it's saying, Deuteronomy 14, verse 28. at the end of 3 years. And why at the end of 3 years? Because the third is holy. The third is sanctified. This is how you exemplify your holiness. At the end of 3 years, you shall bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within your gates. And the Levite, because he has no part nor inheritance with you, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within your gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that YAH your Elohim may bless thee in all the work of your hands which thou doest. Now the Most High told us that if we want to return unto him, that we got to bring the tithe into the storehouse. But you in captivity, you in exile, and you didn't build a storehouse because you didn't think that you could keep the Shabbat in the exile. Because if you keep the Shabbat holy, you're going to understand that YAH needs his own place to get praise. Why do you think we build sanctuaries? Because YAH needs his own place to be set apart to give him his praise. And when you have that place, you're going to need what? You're going to need money. You're going to need chairs. You're going to need heat. You're going to need air. You're going to need food. And what's going to provide that? The tithes and the offerings. Look what it says in the book of Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. This is how you be holy. And of course, many people are going to disagree with what I'm saying. And why? Because Yahweh using this to test your faith. He wants to see if you're faithful. Do you believe him? Or do you think that YAH is just blowing smoke? In the 3rd chapter of Proverbs, verse 9, it says, honor YAH with your substance and with the first fruits of all your increase. So shall your barns be filled with plenty, and your presses shall burst out with new wine. This is how you get blessed, by blessing those that need. This all is a show of holiness. YAH's holiness is not just being in white garments and singing hymns. YAH's holiness is doing his word. You set aside that Shabbat day at the time appointed, and you give Yahweh his honor. And once you see that that Shabbat needs to be honored, you're also going to see that these laws need to be honored. And we need to give YAH his 10th. And we need to take that 10th and we need to apply it to the people that need it. We need to do the work, and that will show forth the holiness. That's how you be holy. That's how you show forth your good, righteous works to the Most High. When you put the action to the words, when you put literally your money where your mouth is, put your substance where your mouth is, you can keep the Shabbat holy, because you need to keep it at the appointed time. And don't defile it, meaning don't go to the appointed place. Don't go to the appointed time and you're not sanctified. And you can be defiled by being unclean, having unclean thoughts, and all that kind of stuff. and bring forth your substance to honor the Most High, so that we don't just meet on the Shabbat, so that every week we can say, look at the fruit we brought forth. Now let's go be holy and find the fatherless and the widow and the stranger. And you don't know who the Levite is today, so just give it to the fatherless, the widow, and the stranger. And what Yah said about the Levite, the things he said about the Levite, you're almost guaranteed to be giving it to them too. Just follow the word of the Most High. And then you'll be holy. That's how you could be holy. That's how we exercise in holiness. And that's how we uplift the Most High's name and exalt him in holiness. Praise the mighty Yah. Yah is righteous. Yah is holy. And let Yahweh forever and continually be magnified. And go to our website, gatheryahssaints.org. Subscribe to our YouTube, share our pages. And if you have the willing heart, go ahead and support our program. You can get to our support pages by clicking on the link below. And you get to our website by clicking on the link below. And you can call us by calling the number below as well. So until next time, Yahweh loves you very much, and so do I. Praise the mighty Yah. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me, Father? Know you're way up there. So many on earth in pain. They can use your care. In addition, more love. 'Cause that's our biggest fail. They all talk about heaven, but we need you right here. You can feel it shift around. The world moving different now. Time is going faster. Only one way to live a righteous life. We can't serve two masters. That's why I'm asking you. Oh, we got. Oh, please. Now, but Father, would you save us? Oh, you're my spiritual charger. Nothing else compares.